Hello and welcome to episode 71 of 15K Plus Random Movie Reviews, the podcast where we take a random movie from Metacritic's all-time movie list. This is Colin.
And this is Niall.
And this is Random Movie 2929. It's Asteroid City from 2023. It's got a Metascore of 76 and a user score of 6.8, which is rare that we see it switched around like that. It had a budget of 25 mil and a box office of 54 mil, so doubled its budget there, which is always nice.
It's a particularly low budget for a Wes Anderson, but I guess it's all kind of in the one scene, really, on the one stage.
Yeah, I believe they shot it in Spain, I believe, and yeah, as he likes to do, he just makes all his sets and does it all very practically.
It's quite beautiful in some respects. Like, it is his palette. And there is a certain quaintness to all the scenes in it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to look at. But, you know, it's him. It's Wes Anderson, and we'll get into it later. It's a little... Actually, I read one of the bad reviews on Metacritic, which I'll read later, is, you know, if you put into ChatGPT to make a Wes Anderson movie, this is what it would come out with.
It's exactly what it is, though. It's all of the elements of a Wes Anderson movie, but it's missing something key.
Yeah, it's missing.
We'll talk about that in a bit, but it's definitely there's a very important element of any movie is missing from this.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So yeah, obviously directed by Wes Anderson, written by him with Roman Coppola, he of the famous Coppola family. He's co-written Isle of Dogs and The Darjeeling Limited. And he's more famous for a video music director, but collabs with Wes a couple of times.
I haven't seen Isle of Dogs, actually. It's on my list of movies to watch, and I never get around to it.
No, there's other stuff to watch out there.
Yeah.
Summary on Metacritic says, in a fictional American desert town circa 1955, the itinerary of a junior stargazer convention is spectacularly disrupted by world-changing events. That summary is very broad, which I guess what a summary is. So it's not really...
Damn you for summarizing.
Yeah, it's not really that accurate in summarizing the actual movie.
It's a tough one to summarize, though, isn't it?
It is, and it's hard to write notes about it. We were just talking before we pressed record. It was very hard to write notes about this movie because why? Because I'm still trying to figure that out.
Not much happens, and I don't really understand the point. This is kind of a lot of stuff happens, but not much happens. You know, there's a lot of scenes, a lot of set pieces.
Yeah,
but they don't move the plot along all that much.
No, we watched The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar in episode 42, which was also released in 2023, and it is very, very similar to...
But a completely different format, though, isn't it? You know, that was, 25 minutes?
Yeah. But
and I think there's just as much content in this as there was in that.
Oh, and it felt like there's more. It
hits the mark perfectly.
Yeah. It felt like there was more content in Henry Sugar than this.
Yeah. This is less plot.
Yeah. But what I felt was a stark similarity between the two was the production, the theater production, and the sliding in of stuff and reality blurring lines and what the hell are we looking at?
I preferred the Sugar one, though. I preferred the Sugar one, which was more, well, not more blatant, but I think that the Inception story within a story within a story, which this was kind of annoying.
It was annoying, actually.
It was unnecessary. He was trying to be too philosophical.
Yeah.
He had too much falafel.
Yeah, phenomenal.
He's trying to be too deep. There was no need for it. And it doesn't actually go anywhere with this depth.
No, it doesn't. Well, so we start off with Bryan Cranston being the narrator, the voiceover, and he's in black and white. And I'm like going, what's going on here? And they cut back to Cranston in between the different acts, and we soon, like, I don't know how quickly you got it. I'm pretty smart usually, but I really didn't know what the first.
Comment.
Yeah, I know. Usually, the first bit, I was like, okay, what the hell's going on here? Then it came back to them in between acts or scenes or whatever, and I was like, oh, Okay, so Bryan Cranston is narrating the production of a theater production of this story, but what we're watching is a real life portrayal of the story that's
within
happening.
The story, yeah.
Yeah.
So Bryan Cranston is narrating the story about the direction and the writing of Asteroid
stage
City.
production.
The stage production of Asteroid City. Do we need that?
No.
It feels a little bit ham-fisted as well, though.
Yeah, and it really doesn't add anything. I don't get it because it then crosses lines a lot. During the end of the movie, Jason Schwartzman's character, Augie, stops the movie and walks out of stage and goes into the other life.
Fourth wall breaks within fourth wall breaks.
Exactly.
There's no need.
Yeah.
And then Bryan Cranston turns up in the middle going,
oh I hated that.
To be here.
That was terrible. That was so not funny.
It's not. I understand why they did it. It doesn't land.
It was ham-fisted, as you said. It was just like, ugh, what the hell?
And this is the problem. Another director hits this and you'd be like, oh, what a good, reasonable attempt. But this is Wes Anderson. You expect this stuff to land. And a lot of it doesn't. And I'm really surprised by it.
I get rid of everything. Get rid of all the black and white. Just give me Asteroid City played out like a normal Wes Anderson, like the Grand Budapest Hotel. It's still got
perfection.
It's still got your fingerprints all over it, but it's just this behind the scenes of the production of the theater stage doesn't do anything for me at all. Doesn't add anything at all.
Weirdly, that it kind of works in Henry Sugar, but it's not trying to be a story within a story. Kind of.
No,
it's sticking to the one story that matters. That it is bordered by the writer writing the stuff at the start, but it doesn't really inject itself in the middle of the play, if you will.
No,
I find it intrusive.
Yeah, like Henry Sugar is just delivered in the sense that people look at the camera and narrate, and the scenes are pushed in and out by stagehands, and that's it.
And it's great. Yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. This is pushing 2 hours. It's like 1 hour 40, 45, something like that. Yeah. And so give me a 1 hour 30 movie. I'm good. Let's get rid of the backstage things and I'll probably rate it a bit higher.
Sorry, Brian, you're cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Bryan Cranston, but he wasn't needed here. Neither was the story of on the train or at the start where the guy's writing the book. That's not really needed. Cut that. It doesn't add. As you say, stick to Asteroid City.
Yeah, because that's where it's most visually appealing. Like I'm guessing he sat down and went, let's make sure Asteroid City stands out. So shoot everything in the background, like background in black and white, so that Asteroid City will stand out as a colorful visual storytelling arena that it is.
It is a nice juxtaposition of black and white and then this vivid color in the middle of it. But listen, you do that for 10 seconds and you just do it once off. You don't have to keep doing it over and over again as a contrast. We don't need it. We got it.
Yeah. Bryan Cranston comes across as like very Twilight Zone-esque, the way the narrator comes in. And it's like
aimed at, but again,
the tone is a bit weird.
Yeah.
I felt it was like, if you're going to do it, then go weird with it. Don't play it seriously. It's a Wes Anderson movie, so do something else. I don't know.
Jeff Goldblum completely underutilized.
I was waiting for him to show up because I saw him in the cast as Alien. I was like, okay, he's going to talk. That would have been very funny if the alien talked when he came down.
He says about 3 words while he's
backstage.
Yeah.
Not in Asteroid City, though, in the bloody alternate universe of the production of the stage show. I would have loved, because the alien comes down and just stares at everybody, coughs animated. A little.
Nicks the thing and legs it.
I would have loved to have heard Jeff Goldblum's voice just come out and go, I'm just gonna keep this asteroid.
Yeah. Just
life finds a way.
Life finds a way. Just let him be Jeff Goldblum. In fact, get rid of everybody else. Dress up Jeff Goldblum as an alien and let him talk for an hour.
Yeah.
There we go.
Done. Movie over. I feel like this is a movie, and I'm going to try and just. I don't think I'm sure your notes and my notes are the same. There's 3 acts. There's Act 1, there's Act 2, Act 3. I don't want to go through every scene in Act 1. Let's just pick different things and try to mix it, try to change our approach here because, hey, it's a Wes Anderson movie.
So let's just go random on this, yeah.
Yeah, like Act One basically is setting up the entire thing. Like I think we can generalistically.
I wrote 2 lines down on Act One.
Jesus,
I found it so empty. I found it really hard to take notes on it. They did have Matt Dillon, wasn't it?
The mechanic.
The mechanic. I like him in this. He reminded me very much of what's his face from The Evil Dead? Damn it!
Why do you keep doing this to us? We have bad memories.
Bad memories. This is a terrible thing. I'll come back to it. Bruce, whatever his name is.
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell, that's it. Yeah. He looks a lot like him. As he's aged, he's become more and more Bruce Campbell, which is a fantastic thing. But it's weird, this scene, because I don't know how it makes me feel. It doesn't make me feel intrigued by what's going on.
Fixing the car.
Fixing a car. There's a family.
I like the very tiny thing he put in. That was kind of cool. And that was sort of mirrored then in the aliens pole coming down. There was a little tiny thing at the end of the aliens pole.
It was the doohickey that fixes his car. And then the car explodes. Yeah, it's beautifully shot.
Well, every scene is nice. Absolutely. But I'll tell you what, though.
The perfection is the cinematography is just gorgeous. But the story that's happening in the scene one, it doesn't get me enthused for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, so in general, Jason Schwartzman's character Augie has a son, Woodrow, and triplets, and their car breaks down, and they have to stay in Asteroid City, and the son is there for a space cadets conference, and basically Act One is just setting up who's there. At some point, 50 people arrive, and you're going, who the hell? What the hell? Scarlett Johansson's here. Liv Schreiber's here.
A lot happens in 30 seconds.
A lot happens. People just show up. A teacher and a class show up. And it's like, whoa, this is like, you need to put a cap on your acting cast, Wes, at some point.
Yeah, like it's a tiny little set, and you've got it was 150, and like the names. Like Tilda Swinton's in it, and she's in it for like 30 seconds. She's a big name.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. Steve Carell, he says about 3 lines.
Well, Bill Murray was supposed to be Steve Carell's character, but he had COVID at the time.
Apparently, this is not the first time he's replaced him either.
That's right.
Replaced him in Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, interesting.
He's a good replacement. Like I like him in this.
Yeah, he's fine.
I think the acting in this is quite good. It's just weird.
Oh yeah, you've got a great cast. So, but here's a question for you then. So we get into Asteroid City at the start, and the camera does an entire 360 full of Wes Anderson slide overs, dolly, just symmetry, blah blah blah. And I get to the point. Okay, they're rotating around for maybe a minute or two, and I'm like going, how much is too much of a Wes Anderson production?
This is too much, and it is technically beautiful. But
of course.
At a point, you go, stop it. Let some story happen. Let us get involved in this movie. Just don't hit me with technical wonders. They're great, wonderful, fantastic, Wes. I'm sick of passing now. Give me a story.
Yeah. And there are parts of this story that should be more emotional. The Augie's wife and the kid's mother has passed away. He hasn't told them yet, which is kind of weird. And he sits them down and tells them. He's a very robotic person, and the kids are weirdos as well, so they don't really react the way a normal, like Little Miss Sunshine sort of movie, which is very emotional at times. This is not. And that's fine. It's a Wes Anderson movie. Doesn't really usually get into that a lot. But
I like the 3 little kids who decided, we're not going to get into it in a religious sense. We'll just be witches and we'll bury mummy out in the back garden and do a magic spell.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
That's fine.
But it doesn't tug on any heartstrings.
No, and then Tom Hanks shows up as their granddad, and he doesn't really add too much weight to the plot either. He just comes in, says a few lines, interacts a few times.
It's too stacked. That's the problem. It's too stacked with big characters, with big actors, and everything is too much. Every character you could make a bloody movie about. There's too much happening. There's too much going. As you said earlier, nothing happens for ages, and then the bus arrives, and there's like 50 characters introduced.
A brain couldn't take it.
Yeah, it doesn't need. And then there's swathes of time during the movie where there's not much happening. It's just, the odd bit of dialogue. The dialogue's fine. It's good, but it's just too many stories going side by side. And then you have the crap from the fourth wall breaks.
Yeah, so within the first scene, we cut back, I think, 3 times to Bryan Cranston's narration of the background, and it just breaks it up in not a good way. Breaking up a plot is good sometimes, which, exposition of background story, whatever. This is just an alternate universe, and you don't really care.
I think the second break where it goes back to Ed Norton. Sorry, Ed Norton was introduced earlier on
true.
as well.
Yeah, he's the playwright.
Just the names in this are nuts. Ed Norton's a playwright, and then Augie's character comes in dressed in a military outfit. There's some weird thing with him breaking the window and then trying out for the role, effectively gets it, and then he snogs Ed.
Yeah. But he comes in and...
it's a lot.
He leaves the room, comes back as the character from the main plot line.
Yeah, holding a camera.
And does Augie's lines, and then...
You're perfect.
It's annoyingly interwoven, interstellar, fucking Inception, and it doesn't. It is. It's annoying.
And at times, it's hard to follow where it's going.
It is.
And again,
Scarlett Johansson.
I think of myself not an idiot, but
that's what I said.
What?
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson comes in. And she's obviously one of the best actresses of our time. She comes in and her character should be quite in-depth. She is a sort of maybe a depressed actress who's very well known, quite deep, but she has lots of conversations.
Isn't it?
Yeah, but she has lots of conversations with Augie, and nothing is really interesting in their conversations at all.
No, and here's the thing about Wes Anderson movies: so sometimes they make the mundane beautiful. And this, I'm afraid, it kind of makes it a bit boring.
Yeah, you don't have to whisper; it's fine. You can. He's not.
I can say mean things about Wes Anderson. Nobody's going to snipe me through the window.
Yeah, don't mention that.
Oh God, yeah.
Actually, one thing that could and kind of nearly got good character-wise was the teacher and the students. Kind of.
Did you cop? I don't know if you watched Stranger Things, but did you figure out who she was?
Oh, I do watch Stranger Things. I thought she looked familiar.
She was the girl selling ice cream. She's one of the main characters, actually. In Stranger Things.
Right.
I can't remember what you call her. Robin.
Yeah, she's still in it, right? She didn't die off.
Yeah, she's not dead. No.
Yeah. I didn't actually know.
So she was very good in this, I thought. It took me a while to cop it. I was looking at her going, who is that?
There's a lot of people in this.
Went, that's the girl from Stranger Things. Oh.
Yeah, there's another guy that stands to the left of, what's his name? Robin Wright, I think, the general. Stephen Wright.
Oh, yeah.
Who was in Police Academy, I think.
Really? I missed that.
Jeffrey Wright plays General Gibson. And the guy... He was just standing off to the side. He doesn't have any lines to say. I'll find his actor's name later on when I think about it. But he was also in Veep, I think. But anyways, he's a well-known face. There's just so many people.
It's just so I'm looking at the cast list here. It's stupid. like Liv Schreiber.
Yeah,
he's huge. And he's in there for about 30 seconds as well. Tom Hanks, he's just like, hello, I'm your granddad.
Yeah.
There's not enough focus on any particular character. Maybe Augie is kind of the focal point of this.
Fisher Stevens, that's his name. He was.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of movies and TV.
I actually liked the character, the Jake Ryan lad who played Woodrow. I thought he was quite good in an understated sort of fashion.
That was fine. And so then we haven't even mentioned that. That's another core group, are the students, the space cadets that are there. There's 5 of them. Yeah. The Brainiac crew. They're interesting characters, but they sort of take
there's a throwback to
seat.
another movie we did recently as well in here. One of the Brainiacs. I should have wrote her name down.
Oh God.
No. One of them was the druid in Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. Yeah. It's Maya Hawke, right?
That's the one.
Yeah, yep. Ethan Hawke's daughter. Yeah.
Was that Ethan? Oh, bloody hell. I didn't realize that she was Ethan's.
Oh, yeah. Oh, maybe that's not her in
No, that's the girl that's the girl from Stranger Things.
That's the one from Stranger Things. Sorry.
Yeah. The other girl. Sophia Lillis played Shelley, and she also played Dark in Dungeons and Dragons.
There you go. That's the one. We'll at some point remember actors' names.
No, we won't.
No.
Too much drinking when we were younger.
Yeah. So like the group, the Brainiacs, the Space Cadets, are interesting. They have a couple of scenes, but again, because of the so many things to do in the movie, we don't get enough of them. Get rid of the fourth wall breaking, and we could have a lot more development of their characters.
They were very well acted, weren't they? I thought
they're interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Because it shows them in scene one or act one of why they're there, and they'd invented all these crazy things that are unbelievable. But
death ray and jetpacks.
Death ray and putting images on the moon. Yeah, like that's all fun. That's exciting. That's a bit interesting.
Proper silly Wes Anderson stuff. Fantastic.
Yeah, and they have a scene together when they're eating together, and Woodrow gets invited over, and they question him. Then one of them always dares, do I dare me to do this, dare me to do that, which isn't
Liv
developed
Schreiber's
a lot.
Kid.
Yeah, Liv Schreiber's kid, and Liv Schreiber asks him at some point, and it just doesn't get answered
enough. What
enough.
is this all about? Yeah. It kind of lands that as well, and it's an interesting thing, but it's not really pushed any further. I found a lot of this movie was very similar with one-off lines to the Fantastic Mr. Fox, but it makes them more endearing in Fantastic Mr. Fox. They're like loose threads that are never really followed, and it's kind of annoying. There's missed opportunities in some of these potential storylines that they could have followed.
Yeah. Again, there's so many good ideas, but I want more time to explore them, like the vending machine that sells plots of land. That's funny and
idea.
Interesting.
It's brilliant. And it's fantastically delivered. But that was Liv Schreiber and
like Steve Carell is the
Steve Carell, yeah.
It's
an
dude.
Interesting little story. It was just not really fleshed out.
Yeah, we sell half tennis court size plots of land for whatever, $10 or something.
In quarters.
Yeah. And then so that's fine. And then so they're in the asteroid crater, and the alien turns up and comes down on this little skinny pole, looks around everybody.
Yeah, they've all got cardboard boxes on their heads.
Yeah,
because they're looking at 3 dots in the sky, and if you don't use the cardboard box, you go blind. But apparently that's not true, because then the alien comes in and they don't go blind. It's weird.
Yeah, but I think
you know what? I like it being weird.
I love the scene. I love the alien coming down the scene. It's eerie and freaky and funny. Steals the little asteroid that was there. Looks up when it's picking it up. It looks towards everybody, which is kind of very funny, and poses when Ogie takes the photo. And so that's the end of scene 1, and everybody's like staring up, and it's quite obviously Wes Anderson. It's quite well shot, and they hold for dramatic effect with their facial reactions. And so Act 2 then basically comes along, because I only have like 6 sentences for Act 2. So for Act 1 is very long, and then Act 2 is just them under quarantine. And
this drags as well.
Yeah. Like the teacher keeps continuing to teach, but the students have many questions to ask, which is kind of interesting and funny. Yeah. What else? Tom Hanks only appears in Act 2, actually.
Yeah, not at the start of Act 2 either. He's a chunk in. No, he appears just before the alien pops up.
That's true. That's true.
Locked out.
That's true. Yeah.
But just before that. So he is at the very start of Act 2.
Yeah, so the people are being interrogated. There's this sort of like dolly scene where they're going through the different rooms of people being interrogated about whatever. the space cadets are getting interrogated.
There's a very interesting visual scene here where Augie and Scarlett Jo's characters are chatting to each other through the windows, and it's incredibly well shot. Where you got the window frame looking onto another window frame, and they're hanging out chatting to each other. Like the dialogue is kind of meh, but it's.
I don't remember what they even talk about.
They talk about being miserable. I think is the being bad parents. I think was the conversation.
Yeah, but then again, it just flies by, and it's because everything's just packed together. You just don't have time to go.
Yeah,
and I understand that you don't get that mainly a lot from a Wes Anderson movie, but I remember like the bellboy and is it Saoirse Ronan's character in Grand Budapest Hotel.
Yeah,
that's sort of they develop that relationship, and you become interested in it. You know.
But see, in that movie, there are relationships, and they grow during the movie, and there's a story that grows with it. That's a fantastically well told story, as well as being visually beautiful. This doesn't. There's no real arc. I suppose there is, but it's kind of meh, and it's kind of it's a jagged arc, if you will, because of this fourth wall breaks and going back to Bryan Cranston talking about, going to the train scene halfway through, something interesting happening. And it breaks the flow of it because of that.
Yeah. Also, there's also another Anderson-esque thing is the guy, the shades and the suit is always in the background of many scenes.
I do like that. I like the little nods, little details he leaves.
Little details, yeah. But he doesn't become part of the plot whatsoever.
And that's fine. I kind of like that. I like weird stuff in the background.
Yeah. This is when Bryan Cranston shows up within the main storyline. And
I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is in line with the mother of one of the space cadets, and the camera does an Anderson thing and just slides over to the left, and Cranston sort of gurns at the camera, goes, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here," then sidesteps out, and the movie continues. And it's like I was like, I don't like that. I didn't like that at all.
It didn't work, and to be honest, I'm not really fully sure why. Maybe because it was just too much Anderson the whole way through this, so something weird happening like that had no impact.
No, I think as well he wanted to break a lot of walls during the movie and just said, yeah, let's do it the opposite way as well. Let's put him in as well, just so we can mess up the time frame of everything a little bit. We do have to mention during Act 2, one of the black and white scenes in between has Willem Dafoe in it, which
who I love.
Yeah, well,
he acts well in this scene, but again, it's them trying to figure out a scene about sleeping for some reason.
Yeah, which we come back to in Act 3. With some weird crap.
I did not like that.
No.
But we can get to that later.
Yeah, well, Act 3 comes along then pretty quickly, and
the song about the alien.
So again, it's the teaching scene with the students, which is quite fun.
Yeah.
That actually happens in Act 3. At the start of Act 3. Yes. Yeah. So Act 2, the students, the cowboy comes in and says a couple of things about how the alien would probably be nice and friendly. And so that's how I'm going to treat the alien when he comes back. I'm going to be nice and friendly to him. But if he's not friendly, we'll get the good old US of A army to get him. And at the end he goes, "Thank you, do," which I kind of enjoyed as sort of cowboy thing.
Rupert Friend is very good in this.
Oh yeah. So that was the teaching scene in Act 2. So Act 3 starts off. At the end of Act 2, we have to mention that the space cadets rig up the system to call the outside. So the beginning of Act 3,
quarter into the phone box because I made a phone call earlier and I didn't put the money in, and
it didn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they'd
Why
stolen
did
a lot
soldier
of.
have pigtails?
I don't know.
It was weird.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about it.
A local cop for local people.
Yeah. Anyway.
So they'd stolen a lot of stuff from Tilda Swinton's periscope area thing.
That sounds
space, whatever.
Space
observatory. Yeah. So at the start of Act 3,
science box.
Yeah, science box. Cosmic building. So it turns into Roswell, basically. Yeah. There's lots of people. There's a fairground, and people in spacesuits are all there. The army's not happy, and one of the space cadets is getting interrogated, and he's like going, "Yeah, whatever, you assholes.
What are you gonna do?"
Yeah. So then we have another scene with the teacher and the students, and this is when the student comes up and goes, "I've written a song." Yeah, because they've all reacted. Like they say, like she's trying to teach about the planets of the solar system, and speaking as a teacher, this is when you sort of grasp on to students' interests. It makes sense. It's authentic. You roll with it. If they're creating a poster of the alien, then you talk about it. And if he's written up a song, then you let him sing it, and he does with the band.
It's a great scene, and here comes Travis Cocker in the background.
Yeah, which I didn't spy, but. Yeah, Wes Anderson must love.
He's very easy to miss, but he loves Jarvis.
Yeah, he was in Henry Sugar, and he's in quite a few other ones, right?
Fantastic Mr. Fox as well. I'm pretty sure he's been in a couple other.
So that's quite a fun scene. We go from that sort of glee to Midge in a bathtub with pills around her.
I actually don't mind this scene. I know you find these two characters kind of dull, perhaps, but.
Well, they're doing a scene.
This is well acted. The scene that they're doing inside the movie is well acted because they show emotion for once.
Yeah, but it's. But can I tell you what they were talking about? No, not really. What I can say is that she's posed very famously like the Death of Marat by Jacques Louis David, 1793.
That's very expensive. Sorry.
Actually, yeah, that's in. Yeah, that's a famous painting, I know, and she's angled herself to be exactly like that. But anyway,
I was unaware of that.
She was doing this because she's reciting lines with Augie, and he then goes and puts his hand on a quick griddle or whatever the hell you call it.
That's weird.
Yeah, so this is questioned earlier on in the actual black and white scene. Somebody asks, why does he put his hand on the griddle? So then he does it in this scene. We move on to they're in the crater again, and the alien comes back again and chucks the asteroid back.
Unyoink.
Yeah, and so then this is when Augie breaks the 8th wall, and he opens a door and goes backstage. And it's annoying. It was annoying. Yeah, I don't understand it. He goes back. He goes to Adrian Brody and goes, "What am I doing here?
What's the movie? What's the play? I don't get it."
We also have to mention that he goes outside, and Margot Robbie is across the street on a balcony, mirroring how he talks with Scarlett Johansson in the Asteroid City.
Very much the same, yeah, and it's very similar, like framing as well. You got the doorway and the doorway.
Yeah. So then we're sort of stuck in there. It sort of segues into Willem Dafoe's acting.
Oh, this
class.
No.
Yeah,
wake up if you don't fall asleep.
So everybody's chanting this. And Wes Anderson has said, I'm keeping it cryptic. I'm not saying the meaning behind it. I don't care. It sucks. It's stupid.
I don't want to know the meaning behind it.
You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. You can't wake up if you don't fall asleep. Like,
over and over again. And then the alien there with the asteroid kind of shoved in your face.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum, like, obviously it's probably him in the costume, comes in, with the asteroid. It's just a stupidly weird, sort of surrealistic scene, and it doesn't work. It doesn't make me think about, what are they saying that for? If it was about sleep paralysis and nightmares, then maybe I would be questioning stuff, but it's about alien visitation in a...
No, he's calling us all sheeple. That's what I'm getting at. Wake up, man. Wake up.
Yeah, wake up. Aliens are here.
Yeah, they're here. They're watching you right now. They're probing you with their asteroids.
Their mind bullets. Epilogue time. The movie's over. Quarantine's over. Everybody's checked out. They bury Mom beside a cactus. I saw in the background Carell taking his visor off as a mark of respect. That was quite funny. And then they're in the diner. It was interesting. So yeah, the son has won the scholarship. So, oh, how did you find
baby,
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. The general slipped it to me in line at the communal showers. I thought that was actually quite funny. And then it's back to normal. Asteroid City's back to normal. Another atomic bomb goes off. The police car chase that starts at the start of the movie is continuously going on.
So it feels like it's a loop.
Feels like a Groundhog Day loop happening in this place.
Yeah.
Then we end up with a song I know quite well. It's Freight Train, because when I worked in Fitzpatrick's pub 20 years ago, Monday nights, we had a singer come in with a guitar. He would always sing this song to a room of like 5 people. And
drunk.
me.
Drunk 5 people.
Drunk 5 people. And me drunk. And then we have a very prolonged Roadrunner thing.
Yeah.
There's a little Roadrunner that appears at the start of the movie, during the movie a little bit with the triplets, and then at the end it just dances around, and it's like stupid. I'm sorry, Wes.
It's very well puppeted because it was 2 guys in blue or green clothes bouncing around the place with it, but I don't get the point.
Yeah,
it's an interesting little bit of artistry, but it doesn't add to this. So no, Wes, no,
not your best. Don't
not
do
even
it again. Close.
Not even close. I'd say this is worst.
It's it's sort of similarities with Mars Attacks in a sense, if it had gone a little bit further, but not enough to my liking. I gave the plot 2 out of 5. I was annoyed by it.
I was a bit harsher. I gave it 1.5.
Damn.
Yeah, I know, harsh.
Yeah, well, we've just talked about it for 36 minutes, and so you know the reason why we gave it. Acting, I'm giving 3 because it's fine. It's a bunch of good actors, and 3 is the best because there's not a lot of dramatic acting really needed here. It's a Wes Anderson movie, so
it's more than decent. Like the bits and pieces of Shining or acting brilliant.
The Shining,
not The Shining, but there's a couple of pieces that shine out, but with no plot, it doesn't really matter what you're doing acting wise. It doesn't really do jack shit. So I give 3 for acting as well. There's as much as you can get for this movie, unfortunately.
Yeah. Sam Brackett's track, I give 2.75. There's a couple of incidental music. There's a couple of songs happening. It's quite atmospheric. It's a little bit above average, but nothing that I want to listen to it on Spotify straight away.
I was a little bit disappointed in the music, apart from the song about the alien. So I give 2.5.
Yeah.
I wasn't in Fitzpatrick's when that song came on with the guitar.
Yeah, 0.25 extra for that nostalgic buzz that it gave me. You give your production, because I'm still between 2 values.
See, the production was hard to give. Part of me thinks it was overproduced.
Yeah, I think so. But still good.
It is technically fantastic, the production in this. So I give... You know what? I have 4 written down. I'm going to give 3.75. It needs to get knocked down. It is brilliantly produced, but I think it was brilliantly produced without thinking about a plot. I should have spent less time on the production and more time on the story. So I'm going to give it 3.75. That's an asshole thing to do, but I'm going to do it anyway.
That's fine. I was going between 3.5 and 3. I'll give it 3.5. I think it was his COVID movie. He wrote it and thought about it during COVID, so let's blame COVID.
Damn you, COVID.
Yeah. Rex Reed in The Observer gave it 25 out of 100. He said, like all Wes Anderson movies, it is enigmatic, artificial, infuriatingly self-indulgent, and irrevocably pointless.
See, I think that's harsh, because all Wes Anderson movies are not this self-indulgent. This is incredibly self-indulgent. But I suppose that's what happens when you're writing stuff when you're in lockdown, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Odie Henderson in the Boston Globe gave it 25, and this is the AI one. If you asked an AI program to create a Wes Anderson movie, you'd get Asteroid City, the latest and worst film from the writer-director of The French Dispatch and Isle of Dogs. So I think that's quite accurate. David Ehrlich in the IndieWire gave it 100. out of 100. If all of Anderson's movies are sustained by the tension between order and chaos, uncertainty and doubt, Asteroid City is the first that takes that tension as its subject, often expressing it through the friction created by rubbing together its various levels of non-reality. What a load of English in a shitty way.
Pseudo-intellectual twaddle.
Yeah. Well done, David. You went and got a degree in journalism at some language arts university.
Tosser College.
Tosser College.
Sorry, been a bit harsh.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh. Sorry, David.
Sorry. Went a bit far with that. We didn't like this movie as much as you might have guessed.
Yeah, and that's fine. And that's the way the world goes around. All right, so let's beam this review up to Scotty and finish it off. Yeah,
we're done with alienly probing it.
Yeah. All right, so let's roll for the next episode. And we get 11,039.
Oh, that's a big number.
Sure is. And random movie number 11,039 is Three Amigos from 1986.
Badly. It's rubbish and I love it.
Well, when's the last time you watched it?
Oh God, I was in my teens, so 600 years ago.
So we'll see how it has aged.
I'm sure it's aged really bad.
I just read recently that I think it was Steve Martin and Chris Short. Was it Chris Short? Oh, it was
Chris Short,
yeah. Martin Short, sorry. They were both saying that Chevy Chase was an asshole.
He admits he's admitted himself multiple times that he's a horrible person to get to be with.
Quick summary: 3 actors accept an invitation to a Mexican village to perform their on-screen bandit fighter roles, unaware that it is the real thing. Sort of similar to Tropic Thunder in a plot sense. It has a Metascore of 52 and a user score of 7.0. Runs for 1 hour and 44 minutes.
I'm delighted with this news. This is great.
That's fine. We'll see how it has aged. Okay, so if you're liking what you're hearing, please leave us a review or a comment on any of the platforms that you're listening to us on. Send us an email. It's in the comment below if you want to submit your top 10 movies. And we'll see you on episode 72. Bye-bye.
Ta-da.